Welcome to the Venus Flytrap Podcast. My name is Dr. Stephen Paul Edwards. I'm your host, and we're here to talk about all kinds of things. You know, when I went through the experience that I wrote about in the Venus Flytrap, Sex, Lies, and Repercussions, it seemed like our story, our mission was to talk about the book and toxic relationships and get people to buy a book, which it is. But really, it's not about toxic relationships. It's about something far greater, because the Venus flytrap actually is a metaphor for life, for society, for all kinds of relationships, every kind of relationship you can think of, including the relationship you have with the world, with society. And this world can be the Venus flytrap. It can trap you in a set of beliefs, a set of ideas that can cause you to live a life in way of slavery, right? In terms of going to work, getting a paycheck, not living life on your terms, feeling like you're in a trap, and you're trapped by the nectar that this world that you live in offers you. What kind of nectar? Well, having a car, having things, the stuff, the material world that you want. Why? Because everybody else wants it and you want to be accepted by everybody else, so you got to have it. Which is not true. All right. So how do we extrapolate ourselves from that Venus flytrap? And also, how do we not get into toxic, or what I call Venus flytrap relationships in our personal life with our boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, the dog, whatever it is, right? The relationships can become toxic. In marriages, it starts out, everything is wonderful, or with your girlfriend or whatever. Everything is perfect. They're perfect. You're perfect for them. And then something happens and things start to change. In marriages, it can take years and years and years for you to grow apart until there's nothing left for you to be in the relationship for. That's also toxic, right? So I went through a toxic relationship in the story of the book, which is a true story, right? It's like a memoir, or based on a true story, right? Which is the way you have to say it from legal perspectives, right? But I almost lost my mind in that. I mean, really, I almost went out of my mind, which is a place some people say I should go. But my point is, I got out of it and I didn't survive. I thrived, right? Now, I did survive initially. I got out of it. I extrapolated myself. I went through tremendous pain in the relationship and getting out of it. And then healing those wounds, which took a while, and getting my life back on track where I was doing what I wanted to do and living the life that I wanted. And then from there, learning how to thrive in a new world. And it was a new world because I'd shed a skin. I'd shed a part of myself that I needed to let go of. And so the toxic relationship, or the Venus flytrap relationship, was not a bad thing. It was a gift. And I'm totally grateful for it, as we'll talk about later. So there were specific things that I did to get out of the relationship. Specific details. And I'm going to share those with you. So if you need to get out of a toxic relationship, or a Venus flytrap relationship, as we're now going to call it, I can share with you how, right? Specific things you can do to extrapolate yourself from it. I'm also going to share things that you need to know to not ever get back in one again. How good would that be? Because what happens to many people is they get in a relationship, a toxic relationship, a relationship that doesn't serve them, that becomes abusive, and they don't know how to get out, right? And then there are people who get out of one and then just go back into one again, another one. They meet the same person in a different body because they haven't taken responsibility, learned the lessons they needed to learn, and so they're drawn electromagnetically, because everything's vibration. Remember we were talking about last time? And we're just drawn back into it. You cannot help it. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't change your vibration, you're going to go back into one again, or just never go back in a relationship again, which neither one makes sense, right? And if you've never been in a toxic relationship, you need to get out a lot more often. Most people have been in one, but if you haven't, good for you. And let's just make sure you never get into one, right? So we got a lot to go through, a lot of perspectives, a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of having fun, right? So everything is a relationship. So that's why the Venus flytrap is so powerful, and learning how to avoid them, get out of them, and never get back into one again is really important. So let's get started.
built an empire to mask the pain. A self-made man with a heart and heart, watching the world from a place apart. Then she walked in like a sudden blade, in the midnight heat where the shadows played. A fallen heiress with a rebel soul, ready to take back all control. She lived by no rules but her own desire, wrapping his life in a ring of fire. An international ghost of a golden age, stepping back onto the center stage. Oh, the Venus flytrap.
All right, so I said let's get started, so let's. Now, we were talking in the last podcast about this philosophy, the philosophy of Heartism, right? The combination of living from our heart and bringing in our artistic nature, right? Our creative artistic nature. So we become a Heartist. And to become a Heartist, you practice Heartism. I know. It's a lot of things to remember, right? So a true philosophy, a true philosophy should make its founder irrelevant. All right. That's not true, not irrelevant, but progressively less necessary. Saves me a lot of aggravation. Like I said in the last podcast, people follow me around and needing me. I don't want to be needed. Well, not all the time, right? So, in other words, if the Heartist philosophy is healthy, so you can put it to the test here, right? If it's healthy, you won't need to think. People won't need me to think for them. Listen, I have a hard enough time thinking for myself, obviously, right? So they'll use the philosophy to think deeply for themselves. And we talked about Heartism is a bridge from fear to courage, from being being unconscious to awareness, from performance to authenticity, from dependence to freedom. Okay, now I've got a little test for you. I want you to see if you can see something, but I need you to have a piece of paper and a pen. If you don't have one, go get one. I will wait here, and while you're away, I'm going to read something to the rest of the people that came prepared. You didn't, too bad. All right, now, just from now on, though, you will need a piece of paper and a pen because I'm going to share things that will be mind-blowing. Because they blew my mind when I first saw them or read about them. All right, I'm going to tell you about a group of people that are the Southern Eskimos in Alaska. Their name is the Yupik Elders. And they also live in part of the colder regions, not only of Alaska, but Russia as well. All right. They serve as advisors and mentors to their communities. The Yupik Elders are an indigenous people of Alaska who have lived in the region for thousands of years. So they're all getting pretty old. They're divided into two main groups, the Central Yupik and the Siberian Yupik. The Central Yupik live in the Yukon Delta and Bristol Bay areas of Alaska, while Siberian Yupik Elders live in England. Okay, kidding. They live in Russia. All right. So Yupik Elders are typically fluent in the Yupik language and have a deep understanding of Yupik culture and history. They are often skilled in traditional Yupik crafts such as ivory carving and basket weaving. Yupik Elders also play an important role in Yupik spiritual life. They are often the keepers of Yupik oral traditions and religious beliefs. In recent years, they've faced some significant challenges, including climate change, economic development, and cultural assimilation. However, they continue to play an important role in their communities and are committed to preserving Yupik culture and traditions for future generations. So I want to read this to you. So this is kind of poetic, right? And it talks about what the Yupik elders call the reverse society. So if you would, to begin, let's take a moment to just center ourselves, taking a deep breath and let it out through your heart. You have to imagine that, right? Yeah, let it out through your heart. But isn't it interesting? When you really imagine that properly, you can feel it. Yes, you can. Don't argue with me. Now, so one more deep breath. Now gently close your eyes this time, okay? Feet on the floor, not wrapped around your neck, okay? Just on the floor, relaxed, eyes closed, hands in your lap. And I'm going to read this to you. The Yupik Elders of Alaska called this world we live in today the reverse society, or the inside-out society. They say, with legitimacy, that we have reversed all the laws of living. We used to teach how to live. Now we teach how to make a living. We used to honor elders, and now we honor youth and being young. The heart used to tell the mind what to do, and now the mind tells the heart what to do. We live in a society that is totally in the head. Before, the brain would serve as an agent to fulfill that which comes from the heart. Now most people have forgotten to listen to the heart. Listen to the heart. The heart is the only thing that is present. What goes through the mind or brain is never present. The mind is never present. It is always, in all ways, either the past or the future. It is never in the now. This is the reverse society. We are inside out. Taking a deep breath again. Let it out through your heart. Gently open your eyes. I know, it's pretty deep, right? It's also very true, isn't it? Do you know that heart disease, dis-ease, the dis-ease in our heart, is the number one cause of death in America? Kind of fits with the saying, right? What you don't lose. You think I do that on purpose? No, I laugh at myself because I'm an idiot. What you don't use, you lose, right? Like it says, we live in a society that's totally in the head. Now, what I want you to do with the pen and piece of paper that you currently have, because you came prepared or were prepared to go get one, right? I want you to write something down. Now, I want you to write this word that I'm going to share with you in a moment across the page, from the left-hand side of the page all the way through to the right side of the page, without any spaces. You're just going to write the same word over and over again without any spaces. And then you're going to look up, look back, and I want you to read what you see in front of you. It's going to shock you, all right? So the word that I want you to write down in lowercase, every time in lowercase across the page from the left side to the right side, is the word earth. Earth, 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 with no spaces. Go. Okay. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? All right, so now you should be there. If not, do this later. All right, now what do you see? What word do you see? The word you should see is Brian. I'm kidding. The word you should see is earth. Turns into what word when you write it across the page? Turns into the word heart. We just wrote the word earth. How did you end up writing the word heart? Is there something wrong with you? Why did you start writing the word heart? Ear, hear, the heart. The heart is hidden in the earth for you to find when you're ready. Apparently you were ready, right? So we need to, as the ancients told us, recognize, recognition, rethink, realize, see with our real eyes, the truth. That the earth is vibrating. sending a frequency out. That frequency enters our bodies through our heart, not in our mind first. People have always thought for centuries that the first point of cognition in the human condition was the electromagnetic energy in the brain. It isn't. It's in our heart. Now, here's what's interesting. Your heart has as many neurons, that's cells of intelligence, than your brain. No. Yeah. So the brain is intelligent. It's an intelligent organ like the brain is. So the frequency, what was the hertz that I told you? 7.8, right? Approximately. That energy hits your heart, right? Entrainment. Women, you know what entrainment is, right? If a bunch of women live in the same house, they all entrain, they all have their period at the same time. That's entrainment. Well, we entrain in other ways, right? We entrain with the earth. But that signal sometimes gets interrupted. What interrupts the signal? What interrupts the synchronicity? What breaks the circuit? It's fear. Lower vibrational energy breaks the circuit. As we let go of that energy and our vibration rises because it's freer, it's lighter. That's why it's called enlightenment, right? Because we've let go of all the negative, heavy cells and emotions that are held in the cells of our being. That has gone away because we let go of it, no longer holding on, right? We become lighter. As we become lighter, our energy, the vibration increases until we are super light or enlightened, right? So the energy from the earth, the frequency, the vibration enters our heart. That creates entrainment. The heart then sends that signal to the brain. The brain then sends that signal to your body, to your organs and everything. So it all becomes entrained with the vibration of the earth. And that entrainment and that connection provides you with stronger and stronger intuition, feelings that become stronger and stronger. And your heart begins to whisper more and more to your mind. You ever walked in a room and felt, this feels weird. I don't know what it is about this room. It just doesn't feel good. That's your intuition saying something bad has happened there. You might not want to be in that room. Yeah, but she's in that room. She's really cute. Or he's in that room and I like him, right? Whatever it is. I'm being stupid and funny, but you get my point, right? So the reason that the Venus flytrap and recognizing Venus flytrap relationships is because they're providing you with the opportunity to see a mirror of yourself, recognize parts of yourself that you've given up, that you've judged, that you haven't taken on, feel like there's something you see in somebody else that you're attracted to because it's a potential that lies within you, but you haven't owned it yet. All these different kinds of mirrors. I know we walk along the hall of mirrors, and you ever been through one of those things at the fair and they have all the different mirrors and they show you as different shapes. These mirrors change. They're not all the same mirror, but they are all mirrors mirroring you back to you to take you, to help you get back to who you really are. I know. It's not as complicated as it might sound. It's actually fairly simple when you think of it in that way. Okay. So the heart is hidden within the earth, literally and metaphorically. It's just waiting to be discovered. Discovered, right? We're dissing covered. We're not being covered anymore. We're not covering our heart anymore. But the challenge is society says don't do that. Why? Because they don't want you to live fully. Hi, listen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're here to make a public service announcement. If you're enjoying this conversation, which I know you are, right? Because if you say no, you probably lie about other things too, right? So if you're enjoying this, which I really do hope that you are, please take a moment to follow or hit the subscribe button and the like button so you never miss an episode. Let's get back to the conversation. They want you to live in fear. We live in a fear-based society. They don't want you to live in your heart. Why? Because your heart knows no fear. But your mind does. And they can control your mind. Can't control your heart. So they shut it down. They get you to shut it down, to ignore it. Don't trust your feelings. Unless it's fear, then trust that. Right? It's hypocritical. It's nonsense. What does that mean, nonsense? It means there's no sense. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. It is nonsensical. Okay, so you become a heartist. That's the philosophy, the heartist philosophy that we're talking about, right? So you become a heartist, living from your heart and using your unique creative energy to be who you really are, to express who you really are, right? That's creativity. That's being an artist. And when it comes from the heart, you're a heartist. And to get to being a heartist, to letting go of those lower vibrational energies that hold you up, hold you back, hold you down, then you practice Heartism, right? So it naturally creates a complete language. So heart is the center. The heartist is the practitioner, and the heartist, that's the philosophy and the practice. Very simple, really, isn't it? All right, so people don't believe Heartism. They practice it. Just like someone practices compassion, mindfulness, music. I'm going to practice playing my guitar. I'm going to practice playing the drums. I'm going to practice medicine or any art, right? That shifts the emphasis from belief to your lived experience. And that's why there is no particular form of being a heartist. It's individual, because you're an individual. And you don't have to follow anybody else. You don't have to be anybody else. The goal is for you to be who you truly are. How hard could that be? Apparently, it can be a little hard. All right, so like I said, you become a heartist by practicing Heartism. You become a heartist not by what you believe, by what you practice. So you embody it, right? Heartism is the daily practice of living from the coherence of your heart. And so coherence is when you're aligned with nature, aka the earth. Because the heart is where? It's hidden in the earth. And you are your heart, and your heart is part of the earth. Very poetic. Okay. All right, so the Heartist philosophy is not primarily a philosophy of belief. It's a philosophy of being. Being what? Being who you truly are. Yeah, I know. You said that before. I know, and I'm going to say it again, right? All right. The heart is the source. Heartism, the philosophy and practice. Heartist, the person who practices it. Just like art, artist. Heart, heartist. But Heartism is what connects the two. All right, a heartist practices Heartism in a relationship with yourself, another person, your family, community, nature, wealth, work, creativity, the earth, humanity, the divine, the mystery. So that means Heartism is not confined to one area of your life. It is a way of relating. Then your earth, heart, creates a circle that has no beginning or end. It's whole. complete, coherent. Yeah. So when you repeat earth, 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 until almost invisibility, heart begins to appear. No explanation, just the image. Then beneath it, within the earth, is the heart. Within the heart is humanity. So it's not about trying to convince people that they're wrong. It's inviting them to have a deeper experience of themselves. That's a completely different picture, isn't it? Most philosophies begin with, here's what you should believe. The Heartist begins with, here's what you might practice. That's far less threatening. It's far more experiential. It's far more human. What if the purpose of life is not to become someone else? What if it's to become who you've always been? So we've been through a lot already. We've been through the Venus flytrap and talked about how the Venus flytrap is a metaphor for many things, not just a Venus flytrap relationship or what we construed as a toxic relationship. We now know those relationships are here to teach us. We learn the most through relationship. The good ones and the bad ones. The bad ones probably more than the good ones, right? We're going to be talking about quantum wealth. That wealth is created inside out. That we create that world of abundance inside of us first. And then we see it in the external world before us. Not the other way around. I wrote a book called Communicating with God, being in communion with God, or whatever you want to call that. I call it the all-powerful force, the force that flows through everything, from which everything comes and everything returns to. It's a journey home. When you're being who you truly are. Now you're home. That is your home, right? I've done an audio program called Your Miracle Life. I believe that the ultimate dare is to be who you really are in the presence of others. To be authentic, to be vulnerable, to stand in your own power, to not be codependent, but be coherent. A written soul tree, which is designed to help you remember who you are in a poetic way, in a rhythm and rhyme that is very much it doesn't confront you. It shows you a path, tells you who you really are, and leads you in the direction of your heart. And then practice. It's just a practice. You don't have to be perfect. You have to practice. So it's not about writing another book, not about a seminar, not about another program. A philosophy is large enough to hold all of it. The Heartist. I say this because it's true. Years from now, someone's going to ask you, how long did it take you to live the Heartist philosophy? How long did it take me to come up with it? I didn't. I just realized it, right? And the honest answer will be, it took a lifetime. Okay, so we're all part of the whole. We're not apart from the whole. We are a part of the whole. The whole what? The whole universe. So what are you saying? That gold over there is mine? Yes. Now look at that word. Notice how we can break down words and see a hidden meaning, right? If you take the word mind, write it down, M-I-N-E. Now take the middle two letters. What are they? In. And what letters are left? Me. Yeah, it's all in you. It's all yours. It's all mine. Okay, so the heart is also a mirror of everyone and everything in the universe, right? Yes, Stephen, right. All right. So how about, and you've all heard of phrases, and I'll share a number of other ones with you, when you greet people, like one of the ones that's become very famous here in the United States, of course, is namaste, which means the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. But there's also a beautiful way to say goodbye. Not that there's anything wrong with goodbye, but here's another one that's kind of cool. Walk with heart. It's a reminder. See, namaste is a reminder that the divine exists within you and everybody else. And so when you say namaste, you're reminding yourself that you are part of the oneness that flows through everything. And so is the person you are about to spend time with, to connect with, to share with, to experience with. And when you leave, you're reminding each other to walk with your heart. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Life is a beautiful thing when you live from your heart and you become an individual, an artist, painting a picture that is your life, an artist. Okay, so now, obviously, you're fully aware of what we are about to do, aren't you? Because it's the same thing every time. Now, isn't it funny that I would mention time? Because this piece of sultry is called It's Time Now. So, once again, if you would, take a deep breath in. Let it out through your heart. Gently close your eyes. One more deep breath in. Let it out through your heart with your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. It's time now. It's time now to remember. It's time for you to recall. It's time now to break those bonds and tear down your wall. It's time now to see the light at the end of the hall. It's time now to open your heart. It's time to have a ball. It's time now to let go of whatever is holding you back. It's time now to give freely, to turn away from lack. It's time now to live your purpose, to get your life on track. It's time now to accept every experience is something we attract. It's time now to wake up from your waking sleep. It's time now to turn your still waters into rivers that run so deep. It's time now to be honest and let your truth be known. It's time now to show the world how much love you have grown. It's time now to allow yourself to really go to extremes. It's time now to make the journey for which your soul screams. It's time now to give it your all and discover what that means. It's time now to make this life the life of your dreams. So, take a deep breath. Just let it out through your heart. Gently open your eyes. Another amazing Venus Flytrap podcast. Did you enjoy it? I know, of course you did. So listen, make sure, you might write this down. I need to subscribe. Click the like button. Right? What do they say? Smash the like button. Like button. Well, the like button, right? Join us on this journey. Make sure you subscribe so we let you know when the podcasts come out again so you can enjoy another amazing experience. Go to the website, check everything out, download the free first 3 chapters of the book, because if you do, you're going to love it and you're going to want to buy the book, and I'm going to be rich. Yeah, probably not. I don't think anybody gets rich by a book. But anyway, you're just going to get deeper into the philosophy. And what is the philosophy? It is Heartism. And what do you need to, it's Heartist, right? And what do you need to practice to become a Heartist? Heartism. We're going to get this right between us, right? Heartism. Practice. Now, we're going to be coming out with another podcast very shortly. Why? Because I got a lot to say. And there's a lot to this, right? A lot of pieces to the puzzle. So keep learning, keep using, keep practicing. Become a practitioner of the Heartist philosophy. All right? Now, in the meantime, here's what I want you to do. I want you to spread love and pack light, because we're all children of the light. You are a light being. I want you to light up the world. And I want you to experience enlightenment. Until next time, walk with heart.
Let's go. Spiritual sparkle in a world of gray, finding the truth in the disarray. It's a raw confession of a life lived fast, breaking the chains of a heavy past, from the erotic spirit to the soul's rebirth, finding what a human life is really worth. Sex, lies, and the repercussions stay as we dance the final act away. Just a true story of a love so deep, promises that we could never keep. In the garden of the trap we lay, waiting for the break of a breath.